I think I messed up on the with my setup. It doesn't seem to be going live for some reason. So it looks like I forgot to activate something. So I did the unboxing. I'm sorry if I joined late. Um, it looks like there was a I had some technical issues and I didn't manage to go live properly. I'm sorry. I did the unboxing. The unboxing is simple. I mean, you just take it out of the box as it is, plug it in, and it's done. Right? It's as for the um, leveling of the bed, you loosen four screws, push it down, tighten them, and it's done. I'm sorry. I'll recover leveling the bed as a separate video, independent of this, if you wish to. But this is the printer. It took 5 minutes to set it up, and four of those 5 minutes was actually taking it out of the box because it was so well packaged. But now that it's out in there and it's working, I'm doing a print. The print is a 10-hour print, but I'm willing to answer any questions that may come in, if there are any. Um, Apparently, there's some issue with YouTube this morning, so I'm not. I run into some problems, so forgive me. So this is actually doing a print right now. It's a 10-hour print. It's doing it at a super fine detail. It's a character, which I do not know the character, but it's on the SD card. It's either that or do an 18-hour or 15-hour print of the Eiffel Tower, which would look fantastic, but it'll take forever to print. Now, I am printing with a low odor resin. It is a, sorry, wrong one. I have a couple of resin here. This is the frozen rapid black, so it actually cures really fast. Um, but I am using the default settings that come in here, so I do not know if they're designed for uh, the rapid cure, or not. Chances are they're probably not. So let's see how it goes. Let me switch over the camera so you can see what's going on with regards to the actual printer itself. So let me do a quick change here on my camera. If you get to see the vat and you can see the printing happening, we get closer so you get a good view. You see it raising there, finish there. Let me bring it around the side here, might be a better view. There, you can see it's the vat now. It's doing about maybe, I'm guessing a 15-second exposure per layer, maybe a little bit longer. And this resin is designed for, let me see the blue. It actually doesn't say what is the recommended exposure. So it's you guess. But I can actually hear the effect being impacted and being released each time. So let's switch back to normal camera. So let's see how this goes. It is printing. I'm not going to stay online for the whole 10 hours. What I'll do is I'll let this finish. When it's done, I will take some photographs and publish it on the Facebook page. But it's an easy one. Now I have to say this is low odor resin. I'm sitting right beside it, and there's actually there's very little smell from it, which is kind of nice. Now let's see how it reacts when I open the lid. This might be a mistake. Let's see how it goes. It's actually low odor. I can barely smell it. So if you have the option to use low odor resins, please do. Um, they save your nostrils a lot of stench because I've smelled some other resins and they are um, nasty. And besides what they do to your skin, if you do get any on your skin, but it is nasty stuff. It is the odors from some of them is really obnoxious. So if you can avoid that, please do so. Um, Low odors may cost a little bit more, um, and it's worth. I think it's worth paying the little bit if you're going to buy resins. Buy the low odor stuff um, because it saves you having to deal with all of those nasty smells. This has the option to have. It doesn't have it. It didn't come with it, which I'm surprised with. It actually didn't come with a carbon filter. So I will probably end up printing 3D printing on one of my other printers uh, an actual housing for carbon to put in activated carbon and put that above that, so then it draws the air through the activated carbon, and the little bit of odor, the very little bit of odor that's coming off this, will actually be eliminated by going with a carbon filter on top of what's already there. I think. So since we don't have, let me see what questions we have coming in. Okay, I have a question on Facebook regarding. Let me see what they say. One moment. Okay, on Facebook there's questions regarding the type of material I'm using. Okay, I mentioned a while ago. I'm using frozen. Let me make sure you're seeing my screen. Yeah. So I'm actually using this is a frozen black. Now there are clear resins. There are semi-clear resins. Uh, One of the guides is the more um, the stronger the levels of pigment in your material, the cleaner the prints you'll get. So if you use a clear resin, like this is a different anycubic clear resin. Now the issues with using clear resins is the light that has been exposed, UV light, can actually pass through some of the resin. So you will not get really sharp corners if that's what you're expecting out of your print, because the UV passing through the resin can actually shine through and actually fill up the areas around, glow through around the exposed area, and it would actually soften the image. So instead of getting a really sharp corner, you're going to get kind of rounded corners. Now, if you want, uh, but if you don't mind that, then okay. If you want really sharp, detailed corners on your prints, like a really, let's say you have something that wants very, very detailed and the corners are really sharp and you want very, very a lot of detail, then the darker the resin or the more detailed or the more you can add pigments to your resin. So if this is clear, you can add a pigment to the clear resin to make it different colors. And if you do that, the more pigmentation you add, the less translucent and the more opaque the material is. And the more opaque the material is, the better prints you get out of it. Because at the end of it, the light cannot bleed out around your prints. So it gives you a better print. Now, uh, resin printing is becoming more and more popular. It's gaining momentum. Even and I wouldn't, this is, what's funny is resin printers is some of the oldest printing out there. Resin was around before FDM. A lot of people may not realize that, but resin was actually around before FDM. And the people don't realize that it's had 30 years to progress compared to FDM. Right, FDM is less than that. And on top of that, but resin is starting to gain more and more popularity. But there's issues when it comes to it. When you're printing with resin, you must remember that you're printing with a liquid that can be bad on your skin and requires a lot of post processing. So it prints only with supports, and it could be a lot of supports. So those supports have to be cleaned off. But before you clean off those supports, the first thing you need to do is take the same item. and you have to wash it off. And you have to wash off all the loose resin, because if you don't, it cures as hard blobs on the resin. So you take it out of here. There's another part I printed. I don't know if I have it with me. I don't. I don't have it with me. There's a part that I will put in the description that you can, this piece first of all, to cover your resin vat, just slips on and covers your vat when it's not in use. There's another second part that actually where the print surface, the print bed, you can take it off, and there's an adapter that you use, a 3D printable adapter, and that 3D printable adapter hangs the build plate at an angle, so it actually sits at an angle, and it allows the part to drip off better. And you want that to happen. You want to let it drip before you take it for curing or washing, because you're just wasting material. Actually, there it is. Thank you. So here's a component. You 3D print this, and basically it fits on over the print area, and then your vat or your print surface goes on here and gets and hangs on this, and it inclines your print bed to allow it to drip at a roughly 45-degree angle. So, and then that's a really good addition. So if you are going to go into resin printers, find, if your printer doesn't come with such an adapter, find one online. Someone's probably made one for your printer, and it allows you to actually drain your print and the excess resin, let it drip down it back into the bed and then you put it away for storage before you go on and wash off your part in isopropyl alcohol. Now, there's different ways to wash off your part. You do get with the kit this brush and some isopropyl alcohol in this brush, and you can. It's not a super fine. It's not a soft brush. It's kind of a coarse brush. We're using this, and in a little thing about isopropyl alcohol, while wearing gloves. Make sure you wear your rubber gloves. You can actually bring it in. You can clean it off, clean it well, and then you can actually cure it by either putting it out in the sun for 15 minutes or so and rotating it every few minutes to allow the sun to fully cure it. Or if you have a curing station, a curing chamber which has UV lights surrounded inside in it, that when it rotates, you can do that. Or option three is you can create your own curing station by getting a box. You need to have a 405 nanometer UV light. But with a 405 nanometer UV light, you can get the UV light into a box and line the box with aluminum foil or aluminium foil, depending on where you're from. I'm Irish, so it's aluminium, but in here in the US, it's aluminum foil. And you line the box with aluminum foil, and then put the light shining in on top with a hole on top, so the light shines in on top, and the aluminum foil or aluminium foil reflects that light around inside the part, inside the box, so it ends up curing it for you. Now, you can also get, for those types of boxes, if you create your own, you can get a little solar for about $20, a solar turntable, and that small solar turntable you could actually put inside a box, and UV light will activate it. So you put your part in the solar turntable, and the part will rotate around inside the box to make sure the curing is even. So most people cure about 6 minutes. You might need to go a little bit longer. Um, and then at some point, we're going to come back and talk about preparing your part for slicing, because slicing resin, this part is probably going to be a solid part. And I'm guessing it's going to be a fairly solid part, and that's okay. But it wastes a lot of material. Now, sorry. Now, using Chichu box, and other slicers, you have the ability to hollow out your part. So you can set the thickness of the walls, and then you put some drain holes in your part. So when you go through the process of actually printing, you'll end up saving your saving material, because you're not fully making it fully solid. So some people want them solid; they want them to be more robust. You don't always need solids. Solid, if it's going to be something that's sitting on a shelf, it doesn't need to be solid. If it's going to be something that's going to be a practical use, it may require to be solid. But also remember, Resin printers don't always produce the hardest and more substantial printing products that you can put on your struts. So do your testing if you want to, but there's no guarantee it's going to meet up your needs. Sometimes you'll find that FDM printing provides a better solution. It may not be as fine in detail, but it does provide a better solution. Now, there's one other thing that you should also consider. Let's say you want to do something in FDM printing and you want to make it hard. You want to make, but you want a perfectly smooth surface. Now, there are ways of smoothing PLA. It means using some nasty chemicals or lots of sanding. There are other ways of doing stuff like you can go with ABS and do vapor smoothing, but ABS has its downsides because of the vapors from ABS. But do you ever consider combining an FDM print with resin? Because resin hardens into a hard shell. So if you do a good quality FDM, and probably going to do a video on this in the future, if you do a good quality FDM print and you take some resin and you make it you dilute the resin with isopropyl alcohol. You dilute it with isopropyl alcohol, and by diluting it, it makes it more liquid. Just do it in a small batch and then paint that onto your part. Obviously, wearing rubber gloves. And when you paint it onto your part and take your part from there and cure your part, you can end up with a really smooth surface FDM print by combining FDM and resin. So resin is fine for some prints, but like especially for miniatures. If you want to do miniatures, resin all the way. If you want to do lithophanes, resin is fantastic for lithophanes because its fine detail layers are better than what you get in an FDM. Even though you get some really good quality in FDM, you can get better with a resin. But if you want to do an FDM and you want to seal it, and you want to make it nice and sealed on the outside and smooth, you can combine an FDM print with some resin to get a really nice output. So I'll probably do a video of that in sometime in the future. But I'm gonna. We've been going for the last 15, 17 minutes now. I'll stay on a small bit longer in case anybody comes in and asks me questions on YouTube. Um, and if no one does, then I will cut the feed and let this run. And then when it's completed, I will come back and start showing you the output and talk about cleaning down the part and also curing the part. And I'm probably going to cure it in the sun. Because I don't have a resin vat yet. Sorry, I don't have a curing station yet. Um, I've been in touch with a few people who may change that, but right now I don't have a curing station. I can make one up. I have a UV light, so I could actually cure it here by doing a homemade one. We might even do that as a video how to do a homemade resin curing station. So we don't have any other questions. Okay, so I'm going to end the broadcast, and I will speak to you soon, hopefully. And remember, click on the subscribe button below and click on the little bell to get notifications. Also, please see my affiliate links in the description. And also, as well as my affiliate links, you'll also find my link to my um, to some of the affiliate programs that I'm involved with. It doesn't give me much because not many people click on it, but it's a few cents here and there. But everything and anything helps. And please share this link because we want people share the link to my channel. We want people to subscribe to my channel. Um, I'm at 82 subscribers right now. I'd like to reach 100 so I can get a custom name. Right now I have a weird multi-character name, and I'd like to, if I reach 100, I can get a custom name. So we can actually use the Astro Printer name as part of my URL for my channel. And if you could do that, it'd be really appreciated. So subscribe, the little bell, and share it out with your friends. Hopefully that they will subscribe also and increase my visibility. Because the more you subscribe to my channel, the more visible. And click on the like as well. Apparently Google says, sorry, not Google, YouTube said, if you click on the thumbs up, it makes it more popular. And the more thumbs up you get, the more popular. They actually use that in their mathematics to calculate the statistics about which channel should be showing up higher in the ratings. So as many thumbs up as I can get, I'll take them, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. And hopefully you found this useful. I know I messed up at the beginning. Technology, to err is human, but to really mess up, you need a computer, which is what happened to me. So let's get this. Let's share this out. Hopefully you'll find this. And I once this is done, it'll be late. It'll be late tonight. So tomorrow, I will take some photographs of the results, and I'll cure it. I'll take some photographs of the curing, and I might even go live again maybe tomorrow evening, uh, U.S. Eastern time, to show um, the how to create your very own curing station with a UV lamp. Well, that's all for me. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay printing. Thank you.